Those days where unfortunately if you are out there in direct sunshine with a heat index of 105 and a very light wind, your body is up against it, trying to sweat, trying to cool itself down. It makes it very hard in this kind of environment for your body to do that. Looking at your clouds and radar, we've got some spotty showers up in West Texas. Those are not going to reach us, so don't worry about it. Just know that it's nice that we're getting some rain up in Amarillo because they have some of the worst drought in the state right now. Live look outside, covert Bee Cave Automobile camera. You'll notice there's a little bit of wind there. A south wind 5 to 10 miles per hour is what I'm thinking today. High temperature of 100. That's exactly where we were yesterday. 99 is average. So pretty seasonable when it comes to this heat. We've got that sunshine taking over once these morning clouds clear. Here's a look at those high temperatures area-wide. By the way, today being July 31st, climatologically speaking, today marks the start of a 2-week stretch where our afternoon highs are up at 99, and that's the hottest they go here in Austin. So this would be the hottest stretch of the year when it comes to the numbers, but we know we'll fluctuate some as we do every year. UV index today is an 11, so there will be a lot of sunshine out there. That temperature will be high today, but luckily we've got some relief tomorrow. Tomorrow there's a weak cold front that pushes north to south across our area. Very weak in the fact that we're talking minimal rain coverage, minimal rainfall accumulation even. Some spotty showers expected as we get into tomorrow afternoon. They're here and they're gone, and I really don't expect most of us to get wet. I think there's only going to be about 30% of our area that sees these showers, and those who do, that's not likely to be much, less than 1/4 of an inch. But I'm putting in the accumulation, over the entire map because those spotty showers start up here and then they'll trek south through the day. So it's possible we get a little bit here and there. I just don't think it's going to be a game changer for us. This is the only rain chance we have in our 7-day forecast right now. So we keep our fingers crossed that we'll get a little bit more than advertised, but I just don't think it's going to be much. Here's the thing though, despite the fact that most of us won't see rain, everybody gets a drop in humidity. That's coming in on Sunday behind that front. 7-day forecast, 100 today with that mainly sunny sky this afternoon. 30% chance of those spotty showers, not talking severe weather. Even if we do see a thunderstorm squeeze out, I don't think it's going to cause any problems here. No flooding concern. But as we get into August, you're noticing those temperatures are going to be toasty. We have more triple-digit days ahead of us. 100 degrees or hotter for most of next week. Underneath that sunny sky, your overnight lows will be in the mid to upper 70s. Erica?
All right, thanks, Kristen.
And by the way, today being July 31st, climatologically speaking, today marks the start of a 2-week stretch where our afternoon highs are up at 99, and that's the hottest they go here in Austin. So this would be the hottest stretch of the year when it comes to the numbers, but we know we'll fluctuate some as we do every year. UV index today is an 11, so there will be a lot of sunshine out there. That temperature will be high today, but luckily we've got some relief tomorrow. Tomorrow there's a weak cold front that pushes north to south across our area. Very weak in the fact that we're talking minimal rain coverage, minimal rainfall accumulation even. Some spotty showers expected as we get into tomorrow afternoon. They're here and they're gone, and I really don't expect most of us to get wet. I think there's only going to be about 30% of our area that sees these showers, and those who do, that's not likely to be much, less than 1/4 of an inch. But I'm putting in the accumulation, over the entire map because those spotty showers start up here and then they'll trek south through the day. So it's possible we get a little bit here and there. I just don't think it's going to be a game changer for us. This is the only rain chance we have in our 7-day forecast right now. So we keep our fingers crossed that we'll get a little bit more than advertised, but I just don't think it's going to be much. Here's the thing though, despite the fact that most of us won't see rain, everybody gets a drop in humidity. That's coming in on Sunday behind that front. 7-day forecast, 100 today with that mainly sunny sky this afternoon. 30% chance of those spotty showers, not talking severe weather. Even if we do see a thunderstorm squeeze out, I don't think it's going to cause any problems here. No flooding concern. But as we get into August, you're noticing those temperatures are going to be toasty. We have more triple-digit days ahead of us. 100 degrees or hotter for most of next week. Underneath that sunny sky, your overnight lows will be in the mid to upper 70s. Erica?
All right, thanks, Kristen. A happy Friday to all of you. Kicking off the weekend, maybe a work from home situation, quiet morning, hopefully in your household, and that you're not up if you don't want to be. Right now, I-35 in downtown. Checking out good. We've got a good start here on the interstate without any serious construction delays. So we will take it, right? And then how is Palmer? This is Palmer Lane and Samsung. Our TechStop camera there also looking really nice. 183 Mopac, 290.71. We are green all across the board. No serious crashes or traffic alerts, and hopefully we can keep it that way, but we'll be watching it closely. Sally.
Thank you, Erica. Coming up,
Yeah, add it to your list this weekend. And again, try and go in the morning when it's a little cooler. I think you're going to enjoy it. The family's going to enjoy it. And the animals, like I said, tend to be a little bit more active. As far as what's going on with your forecast here, it is still muggy, but I've got good news on the humidity front once we get into the back end of the weekend. So let's talk about this change. We do have a little bit of cloud cover out there in Covington, Sellers, Cameron High. You can also see it over Austin. Temperature-wise, no different than yesterday. 70, 73 in Fredericksburg, 77 in San Marcos and Austin, 78 in Georgetown. So we look ahead, those 70s turn to 90s. By lunch, your forecast high 100. And yeah, it's going to feel sticky. We've got a feels like temperature of 105 here in Austin today, and there's a lot of company there. Most of us looking at a feels like temperature or heat index value above 100. And as we talked about earlier, again, this is what it feels like in the shade. So you really got to be mindful of what you're doing outside today, listening to your body, making sure you're checking in on coworkers, friends, and family around you. I tell you all the time, it is easier to see heat stress in others than it is yourself. And on a day like today, I think it's easy for our bodies to get overheated. UV index is an 11, which is considered extreme, so lots of sunscreen needed too. Let me talk to you about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be interesting because this is tomorrow morning. We got a little weak front sliding through. Some spotty rain possible in the morning north of Austin. I think it gets itself a little bit more together as we get into the afternoon, just courtesy of the daytime heat. But you're still noticing that these showers are kind of spread apart. They don't look that juicy either. I'm going to keep in a 20 to 30% chance of some spotty showers to maybe even widely scattered at times. There's another computer showing a little bit more in coverage, but I like the timing of this considering by tomorrow night, this thing is gone, and we're not going to be looking at any sort of rain impact for your Sunday. So your rain forecast for tomorrow, not only limited in coverage, but also limited in accumulation. I put it all over the map because we could see rain anywhere, just not everywhere. It's very spotty in coverage, and these generally look to be light. As far as the humidity goes, this is something everybody can cash in on. Although we won't see rain everywhere, the drop in humidity will be felt across Texas here, across central Texas, I should clarify. As far as what's going on with the weekend forecast, that means that we'll go 99 ahead of the front here in Austin with some spotty rain following. Sunday, yes, it won't be as sticky, but drier air, easy to heat up. So that's why I think that temperature goes back to the triple digits Sunday. And we're going to take those triple digits all the way into next week. Here's how it plays out on the 7-day. 100 today, that would be our 5th of the year. 30% chance of seeing some of those scattered showers and storms. Again, limited coverage. This is something that if those clouds get dark, you hear a couple of rumbles of thunder, go inside, let that storm pass. It'll be quick, more than likely, and then you can go back outside and enjoy your day. High temperatures in the low 100s as we get into next week, and your nighttime temperatures will stay in the 70s. Erica?
Thanks, Kristen. Okay, 5:52 on your Friday morning, summer Friday. I would expect this morning commute, barring any major traffic accidents or anything like that, to be pretty manageable and quiet. But I do know those evening and sort of late afternoon times, they get definitely busier. So just think about that. But I-35 downtown looking good from our Fairmont Austin camera. And then 183 at Burnett. I actually had moved my TechStop camera, and then just as I was walking out, put it back over here because I noticed that there is a new crash reported on Burnett near 183, which I was talking about that construction zone a second ago. This crash is reported at Burnett and McNeil, just north of 183. So heads up about that. Hope your Friday's off to a good start. We will be right back. Keep it here.
Thank you so much, Erica. As we close the books on July today, you'll notice we're back and forth all month long, but all of the triple digits we've seen so far this year have come in the month of July. We've had 4 of them so far, yesterday being the 4th. The average is 29, but when we look at where we stand kind of year to date compared to years of the last 4 or 5 years, 4 times really isn't too shabby, right? I mean, last year at this time through July 30th, we had 5 triple-digit days under our belt. 2024, by this time in the year, we had 14 days of triple-digit heat. Look at 2023 and 2022. By July 30th, we had 39 triple-digit days stacked up. In 2022, 50 triple-digit days, so almost double the average, and we still had all of August and September to go. We still, climatologically speaking, are getting into the hottest time of year. August tends to pull the most triple digits, but we still get 1 or 2 on average in September. 2021 was a little bit of an odd year. We only had 2, so it was a slower start to the triple digits compared to maybe what we've seen recently. High temperatures, though, showing we are going to stack up a few more triple digits for the year of 2026. We got 1 today, 1 Sunday, 1 Monday, and a whole lot more in that extended 7-day forecast. Low temperatures in the mid to upper 70s too. It's going to be very warm and humid in the morning. Sticky heat, if you will, in the afternoon. So these mornings are going to be pretty uncomfortable just from a standpoint if you're running or walking outside. You're probably going to get pretty sweaty fairly quickly. Freddie.
Thank you very much.
And good morning. Right now, your time is 7:47 and a live look at I-35. I-35 south of here has some trouble, but it's an area that I don't have a camera, unfortunately, by Ben White. So I'll show it to you on the map in just a second. But right now, the main lanes of 35 through downtown look okay from our Fairmont Austin camera. North of there at Airport also looking okay. So most of you are in for a real nice, very easy morning commute. And I know I've heard from some colleagues, they're just like, we are loving this. It's so easy to get to work, a little harder to get home, but not anything like it'll be in about a month or so. So enjoy it while it lasts. So let's go south for a second. So we do have an incident. It does look like it's causing delays southbound 35 right as you're approaching Stastny. That is a construction zone. It can get real tricky real easily. And so that's what I'm watching right now. It does also look like there's potentially an issue on the service road at Ben White and 35 or 71 and 35. So watching that one, I'm going to double check cameras from the city and from TxDOT to see if I can get eyes on anything. But right now we do have some delays down there in South Austin in that Ben White and 35 corridor. So just a heads up about that. Still seeing the report of this crash up north on the northbound service road of 183 at Pecan Park, but probably the last time I'll mention it because I don't see it causing any big problems there. These are your drive times. Northbound 35, Kyle to downtown, half an hour, 25 minutes. Southbound 35, Round Rock to downtown, 25 minutes coming in from Manor, and only 20 minutes westbound 71 coming in from Bastrop. Okay, it's going to be pretty hot again, huh, Kristen?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about those temperatures here shortly. Starting first with your climate change minute, talking about conservation of energy. Avoid running or using your dryer, your washer, the dishwasher, and oven, those big appliances during the hottest time of day. Just pulling more on the energy grid when you don't necessarily need to do it maybe in that moment. And things like the oven, I mean, you're putting out more heat in your home on the hottest time of day. So try and do that after sunset if you can, or maybe for those who wake up early like we do it before the sun rises. Looking at your national forecast here, we've got up front some showers and storms working through the Midwest. That's also where we have a severe weather threat for today. Awfully quiet down there in the deep south of them. Some showers and storms over the Florida Panhandle. Rocky Mountain region also quiet. It's just hot. We have heat advisories in orange. Pink is the excessive heat warning. You find that not only over the desert southwest and up towards the Great Basin and even West Coast, but also down here in the mouth of the Mississippi. We do not have a heat alert in place for the central Texas region, but our friends up in North Texas do. When it comes to those numbers, 118 in Phoenix today, 90s across most of Colorado, western slope in the low 100s. You'll find the Great Basin in the 100s. Look at the heat across California. Looking at 100 plus in Sacramento up there in Northern California. 90s and 100s, and unfortunately still some really bad air quality because of wildfires burning out here, mainly in Oregon. Temperatures in the 80s and 90s over the northern plains. Out towards the northeast, 70s and 80s, a warmer day compared to some of the 60s and 70s they had yesterday. 90s in D.C., 80s out across the Great Lakes and parts of the upper Midwest. Again, we do have that severe weather threat. I'm mainly looking at Illinois, Missouri. Up there is where we not only have a 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather, but also a low flood concern. Temperatures in the 90s down here in Georgia, Alabama and Mississippi, Florida in the 90s, and those temperatures do get hotter moving into the Lone Star State. Most of us here in the 90s and 100s. I think Austin will be about 99, 100, not only today, but tomorrow as well. And then we see more triple digits in our future next week. For more on that, we'll get you back over to Freddie.
All